All right, let's just jump right in with a huge question. What if the Big Bang wasn't actually the beginning? What if, instead, our whole universe was just carved out of some infinite pre-existing reality? It's a wild thought, right? Well, today we're diving into a framework that suggests exactly that. It's called the theory of infinity.
And yeah, that one question, it really gets to the absolute heart of this whole idea. You know, the standard story we all learn is that our universe just exploded from a single point, basically out of nothing. But this theory, it asks us to flip that script completely and imagine the exact opposite. So on one side, you've got the standard view, right? Everything coming from nothing, that big explosion from a tiny point. But on the other side, you see the view from the theory of infinity, or TOI for short. Here, everything comes from infinity. It's not creation, it's more like sculpture. Our universe wasn't built up. It was carved out of a vast, infinite, maybe even chaotic whole. So a different kind of beginning. Let's really dig into what that means. To get our heads around this carving idea, we first have to look at how TOI completely reimagines the start of, well, everything. It's a story not about creation, but about imposing limits, about constraint.
Okay, so at its very core, the theory is built on just two primal principles. Let's stick with that sculpture analogy. You need your block of marble, the raw material, and you need your chisel, the tool you use to shape it.
First up, the raw material. Instead of starting with an empty void, TOI starts with something it calls absolute infinity, or the plenum. Now, don't think of infinity as just a really big number. This is different. It's the total set of all possibilities. Imagine it's like the ultimate source code for reality itself, a reality that already contains every potential outcome, every possible physical law, every particle that could ever exist. It's all in there.
And the second principle? That's the tool. It's called symmetry. This is our cosmic sculptor's chisel. It's the operator, the thing that takes that chaotic, infinite raw material and starts imposing rules, patterns, and constraints. Symmetry is the force that carves out defined, structured worlds, like ours, from that boundless, infinite potential.
Okay, so you've got your infinite block of marble and your cosmic chisel. But how do you actually make something stable? How do you create a universe like ours that actually sticks around? Well, this is where a really cool concept called golden shells comes into play. The key idea here is that reality gets formed in layers. Think of it like those Russian nesting dolls, one inside the other. First, symmetry carves out an initial world from that absolute total infinity. But here's the twist. That new world, with its own unique set of rules, becomes its own new source material, a new, smaller infinity. And from that, an even more constrained world can be carved. And this process can just keep going, on and on forever.
So each of these worlds, or maybe bubbles of reality, is sealed off by what the theory calls a golden shell. The best way to picture it is like the surface tension on a soap bubble. You know how that thin film holds the bubble together? The golden shell is like that. It's a boundary of perfect symmetry that seals the world, makes it stable, and separates it from the bigger reality it was just carved out of.
Okay, but wait, if they're like soap bubbles, what stops them from just popping? What keeps them from dissolving right back into that infinite foam? This is where the theory introduces a really clever mechanism.
And it's got the perfect name for it, the stability ratchet. You know how a ratchet wrench works, right? It only clicks and turns forward. It can't go backward. Well, this is a cosmic version of that. It's a one-way process that locks in new levels of order, making it basically impossible for a structured reality to just slide back into chaos. So how does this ratchet work? It's basically a three-step process. Step 1, a rule gets imposed. That's our symmetry again. Step 2, that rule forces a more ordered pattern to emerge out of the chaos. And step 3, the crucial part, that new structure gets locked in place by something called an invariant. Think of it as a permanent, unchanging mathematical signature that basically says, yep, this new system works. It's self-consistent, lock it down.
So what could possibly be one of these cosmic signatures? This is where TOI proposes something pretty mind-blowing, fundamental mathematical constants. Yeah, like pi squared over 6. The idea is that when a new world is carved out, all the relationships inside it have to be perfectly consistent with each other. The emergence of a universal, unchanging number like this one is the proof. It's like the universe's mathematical receipt, confirming that the new system is balanced, sealed, and totally stable.
Okay, let's pull back for a second. If reality is this infinite cascade of nested bubbles, and each one is locked in place by this stability ratchet, what does that actually mean for us, for the universe we see around us every day?
Well, the consequences are huge. For starters, it means there are no true singularities. You know, the thing that supposedly started the Big Bang or what's at the center of a black hole. In this view, they're not endpoints. They're just the boundary, that golden shell, leading to a whole new context. So extreme gravity doesn't just crush matter into oblivion. It might actually invert it, triggering the birth of a brand new universe inside the old one. And that leads to this incredible idea of a fractal cosmos, where the giant patterns of galaxies could, in some way, echo the tiny patterns of atoms, all nested together.
And this quote right here just nails it. No boundary or singular origin is the final word. There's always a broader, symmetric reality. It's the perfect summary. No boundary is ever really the end. Whether you're talking about a black hole or the start of our own universe, it's always just a doorway, a transition point into an even bigger reality.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last massive thought to chew on. Could our entire universe, everything we know and can see, be just one single stable bubble floating in a truly infinite cosmic foam filled with countless other realities?